precious of you.
Oh
Everyone,
yeah,
this
yeah.
is Clint Gage, just the coolest person ever.
Yeah, welcome in everybody. This is Clint Gage and IanXIlliana coming in to discuss a new bit of technology that has been sweeping across Japan right now, which is actually powering a lot of Tokyo, which is called step power, which is these pressure plates that are being built into the sidewalks that when you step on them, it causes these crystals to be crushed and rubbed together. When that does that, it creates enough power to power a toaster. But you get 50 million people walking on a floor like
They
that.
have a few people. They have a few people in Japan. Yeah, just a few.
Oh yeah, you get 50 million people walking on that floor, and you gonna get some power generated now. They're trying to work on doing that a little bit better. But that was what I wanted to call about, man, because that could be a way of powering your city on Mars, or helping to create better power for your shuttle.
Oh, I mean, look, this is a safe space. I mean, there's like zero people in the chat. I'm using cold fusion. I'm not going to bother with something small like that.
I got you.
Just use cold fusion.
I got you. I understand that too.
Because
But I will be
to
installing it.
make that function in Japan, you need lots of Japanese people.
Yeah.
Japanese people, they like to fuck. They do. So, there's a lot of them. So when you say, if you put your foot on this, you will power the entire city, they say, okay, well, I've got me, my parents, my grandparents, my cousins, all of us walking, and then all extended family and everything walking at the same exact time, plus tourists. You see, that's the thing you didn't even take into account.
Tourism. I know.
The
I did that on purpose.
tourists are generating electricity. You see, that's what I need this country to understand when it comes to immigration. Instead of constantly saying that immigrants are the problem, and some immigrants, yeah, you have to be able to say a lot of the immigrants are contributing something. They're starting industries, they are feeding you, they're clothing you, they are taking care of your children when you don't want to. So they contribute something.
Yeah, definitely. And you see, these contributions, the whole reason why I didn't even mention the tourism, you over there popping yourself like something. I'm messing with you, bro. But
I'm a werewolf. I'm just gonna own it.
but no, the reason why I didn't mention the tourism was simply because of the fact that just the sheer amount of people that live in Japan alone with this new floor system that they're building and everything like that is
It's more
staggering.
than enough. It's more than enough.
Yes, so now you throw in millions and millions of tourists, especially all these weeaboos that think they're going to move over to Japan and become the next, big item. But instead, you throw in them tourists, and now you're looking at just tourism alone can power the village or power the city. Just tourism alone could power a whole sector of Tokyo. And you add the people walking through, you're powering more than that. That's in subject. What's up, Rebecca? Hey,
My name is
Tyler.
IanXIlliana. I am a musician, LGBTQIA icon, environmentalist, human rights activist, veteran with PTSD, and the proud owner of Mars Now, the LA-based space agency for California. The other option.
There you go. I also brought you on here for another thing. Look what I found. My comics.
Yay!
And one of my most prized ones.
I said a Green Lantern.
That is Green Lantern.
Aww.
This is the one where they were fighting Parallax.
I just read that issue.
And 1992 issue Tales from the Crypt.
Tales from the Crypt is really good, though. It's
I've got one in
really
here that you
good.
actually might really like. This series is really good. It's by George R. R. Martin. It's called Fever Dream. A lot of horror
Ooh.
comedy, a lot of scary
People
stuff.
don't understand. George R. R. Martin is prolific. He's
Oh
known for The Song of Fire and Ice, also known as Game of Thrones, but he does a lot. He was supposed to do a space opera too, and he had a TV deal for that. I don't know what happened to it because I was actually curious how George R. R. Martin, his style, translates to a space opera.
I don't know, but if you turn around and you look at other space operas, such as like, well, I most people know this one,
Firefly.
Firefly or Flash Gordon. Flash Gordon,
Flash
the first
Gordon is
original
is
movie.
is an acquired taste. I acquired it and I tasted it and it was lovely for me.
Yes, and you see the thing about Flash Gordon, the original movie that came out, South Park. Oh, I got you. But I don't have any South Park comics. But anyway, the thing about oh hell, I had it in my head 5 seconds ago. Never mind. I got distracted. But
I
oh
can't
right.
help it. I think like it goes with my heartbeat sometimes.
Oh, I remember now. Uh, the original Flash Gordon movie that had Sam Jones in it.
Hmm.
That original film was considered a space rock opera because of all the Queen songs that was thrown in there. Because Queen did the whole soundtrack, and they said they wanted it to sound like a space opera. So that's why you have all that flash, and everything to it, and all that flare. Yeah, there you go.
I mean,
Defender of the
I'm a huge fan if I could do that in an instant.
in
Is
an
that's the
instant,
power of really good writing.
even if it's a cheesy flick.
Freddie Mercury just understood the assignment. Like when this guy comes into the room, you're supposed to feel that. It's almost like he understood what an audience would feel like without
Mm-hmm.
even knowing what the final film was going to be.
Yeah,
Amazing.
you see that's another great thing. Good storytelling works great, but good sci-fi creates actual good technology later on, and that's where
Oh
I'm getting at
yes.
with this floor thing. With this Japanese floor thing. Man, can you imagine having an entire apartment complex that literally all the floors are based around that technology? Just your dog running around.
There's no reason not to. There's no reason not to.
Hell, build it into the bed.
I love your channel because you're the type of person who says invite other people on. Let's just have a conversation and see what comes of it. Because
Okay.
what you're talking about is common sense. Why are we just fighting this? Okay, it's not let me tell you what to do in your own house, let me tell you what to do in your own bedroom. It's simple. If a wire has to pass through two rooms at the same exact time, neither of those people should be paying an electric bill ever.
No, no. And you see, if you got your floors built this way, and you furnish a bed in every single apartment that has those pressure plates put in it, then especially somewhere like Japan, fill a love hotel with beds like that, man. You're gonna have more power than what you know how to do with, especially when all the military starts rolling in. All these weeaboos that come over here to Japan. One of the first things they do is go to love hotels. So there you go, power by bumping.
It's a natural thing, and if it stops people from having to burn fossil fuels, I'm all for it.
Oh yeah.
I'm for people having exercise bikes in their own. You see, this is why I want to do my programs here. I'm writing new businesses and new nonprofits because I have to spend October repairing California because I hate California so much that I have to repair it so I don't hate it quite as much. But that's one of those things that I need to see some change on. I really do. Fossil fuels need to go. They really do. Because if you talk to another person and you're both paying the same bill, then you need to talk about it and say, I don't want to pay that bill. And they'll be honest and say, I don't want to pay that bill either. Who in their right mind is saying, yeah, some unknown company that I don't see, I don't control, and they say, okay, well, the electricity was a little higher today, so I'm going to charge you a higher rate. What? What? Electricity does not fluctuate. That is a
No, it don't.
lie. That is a lie. I don't care if everyone turned on the blender, the microwave, the refrigerator, the TV, whatever. It does not matter. You just need to be able to say, do you have electricity or do you not? Because if you don't want electricity, then maybe you probably shouldn't pay for a bill. But
Exactly.
if you do want electricity, just get it for free. And the thing I'm trying to talk about is an exercise bike in your house or apartment. Because how many people watch television and they're like, I need to sit on the couch. I need to sit on the couch and like rest and like, oh yeah, I'm just going to sit on the couch and watch the television. It's like, no, 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 dude. How about you just power your own television? Because that television is 30 watts, 60 watts, 100 watts, 100-watt television.
Yeah, you can jump
And
on an
and you know
exercise
what?
bike
If you want
and
to watch television that badly, then what you should do is get on your exercise bike and watch your show. It's not gonna change that much for you. It's just it makes sense because we stop being active. I mean, I can show these lovely puppies off now because I just said to myself, I'm a werewolf. I'm gonna go out, I'm gonna howl at the moon, I'm gonna run with my dogs. I don't care who sees that. I'm just gonna enjoy myself. I said today, no more shirts, no more shirts. And Facebook is funny because it was just a meme. Everyone didn't have a shirt whatsoever. And there was like, this guy went to the grocery store and he didn't wear a shirt. And the guy's just like, and I'm like, why do you have to? I mean, like, no shirt, no shoes, no service. It's hot.
I
I live
get
in a
the no
hot
shoes.
climate.
I get the no shoes. I do get that because even I wear moccasins.
Mhm.
But I don't get the what does it matter if you got a shirt on? I don't get that part. To be honest, I'm a bit of a nudist most of the time, to be fair. And I'm just
It's
gonna be
a
honest. I don't know any
fleshy,
other
fleshy
easy way to
thing.
put
Flesh.
that. Yeah, I'm a bit.
Flesh.
I can't do it here at my dad's, but you know, but yeah, I just wanted to hop on, man, because that technology kind of blew my mind. You know,
It's it's a wonderful piece of technology,
yeah,
and
because me and we went
you,
to
you
take a
should have
break.
you should have multiple just avenues of sustainable development toward clean energy
Yeah,
because there's so many different permutations of that. You have that, you have
you have
solar energy, you've
wave
got wind,
generator.
you've got hydroelectric, you've got you have so much going on. And plus, like I just said, you can have mechanical energy. Like have people be a bit more involved. Like you can't just say, oh, we can't do anything about it. It's like there's so many people who are doing something about it. We need something like that here. We need
Now,
Americans to do that here.
I started coming up with an idea of my own. I don't know how well it would work, but I kind of came up with a small idea, which is all of our water systems, they flow through pipes, right?
Hmm.
Ever so 100 foot or so, put a little small generator in there that's hydroelectric powered. Everybody that flushes their
That's a
toilet or
that's a
uses
good
their water
idea.
is going to create electricity.
That's a good idea. I would go further and say that every 100 feet or so, you should have water treatment and testing so that
Oh,
we can have good quality because it doesn't take anything to test from pipe to pipe to pipe because that's the issue that we keep having in America is that people say they don't check the pipes or they don't check the source. So if you're going to do that, you're going to change all pipes and all sources
hell, I think we should
to make
switch
sure it's
over.
healthy.
I think we should switch over to stainless steel pipes, to be fair, instead of what we actually have, which is impregnated concrete die cast iron. I know this from working in the sewers for a while. When you've got die cast iron, it rusts. You got to replace it. when you have concrete impregnated anything, you could run the risk of lead poisoning because of lead particles being inside the concrete. But if you use just straight stainless steel, the worst you got to worry about is calcium deposits. And that's, we've got robots that can literally ride through and clean that whole pipe, just no problem. So we already have lift stations every mile to 5 miles or so, which a lift station is where it all pulls up in a septic tank or into a holding tank, and then it's pumped back out into the streets, or it's pumped back towards the sewer treatment plant, depending
Hmm.
upon which direction it's coming from. Because believe it or not, I call them blood veins because water is the lifeblood of our country. It's how we fuel our crops. It's how we manufacture a lot of our things. Water is a big important source. So they're literally like the blood vessels here, and each little lift station is like its own little heart, pumping the water further. And those pipes and everything like that, they're constantly full of water. They constantly have water flowing through them. So if you have hydroelectric powered little impellers in there and stuff like that to consistently push the water, you're either going to be able to power the sewer treatment plant itself without having to cost anybody any money for taking care of a sewer. The sewer can pay its own employees because it's manufacturing its own electricity simply through the act of you flushing a toilet, or turning on your water faucet. Those little acts right there are just what made me think about it, and I I'm with you. I think we should start coming up with ideas to make more clean, efficient energy. And if this new step technology works as well as what Japan is claiming it's going to work, then why aren't all of our sidewalks made that way? Why aren't all of our roads made that way? Underneath the road, some pressure plates, man. You just drive past that sucker, make the crystals bigger because they grow the crystals in a lab, but make those crystals bigger. Have 18 wheelers and stuff. All the cars that drive through America, man, New York would never have a power bill again. All because people are using their cars. You know, and if we could find ways to integrate this technology into everyday to day life, and like you said, also in order to make the population healthier, include things like exercise equipment that powers your house, or make an initiative to where you start raising kids to be more athletic and more healthy, you know, and by doing that, you would have all this exercise equipment and everything like that they could use. You could even put pressure plates inside of something like a stand-up punching bag, to where you could take it to and go at it, and
With a
that pressure plate
speed
technology,
bag, yeah, a
yeah,
speed
speed
bag would
bag.
be
Every time
perfect for
that
that.
bag hits, it generates power, and
So,
that could power your toaster.
so let's address some of these comments here. I don't want to like take over like too much,
Well,
but
go ahead,
I
man.
have to say, don't let it enclog the pipes. That's a huge one. That's huge because I live in Los Angeles, and so I will talk about how Los Angeles deals with things. They don't. So it doesn't rain here, and sewage and litter removal are just areas that LA doesn't want to deal with. So when people just litter, it goes into the sewer.
Yeah,
It doesn't go there right away, but the wind blows it, or maybe someone washes the front of their store, and it just pushes it
yeah,
straight into the sewer, and no one goes down there, and no one says, "Hey, you have to go down there." Because that is where I am in this country right now. I am so fed up that I have to say, October, one of the events that I have is I'm gonna have to get a permit or whatever, but I'm gonna tell LA County to go into the sewers and clean that shit out.
yeah,
Because when the rainy season happens here, that shit backs up, floods right into the street, right into the sidewalk. People have to walk into that, and I don't care if you're wearing sneakers. I mean, I'm military, so I always wear boots. I'm just crazy that way. But the reason I do it is because when you have a rainy season and that stuff pours back into you, the bacteria and the fungi are going to eat your skin
a
alive.
lot. Not only that, but you're running the risk. and I can never pronounce this damn amoeba's name, but there's a specific amoeba that lives in fetid, nasty,
Hmm.
shallow, fresh water, and they can live in pure sewage. And if
Hmm.
that thing gets in your mouth or into your brain, it's going to wreck your system because it eats your brain.
Hmm.
And when you sit there and you let all that nastiness build up in the sewers and everything, you're just asking for horrible situations to come about. So, because you could end up
Well, leave
actually
it to a gay man to tell the entire state of California it needs to douche.
God, I forgot about calling it douching.
Okay. Well, I mean, basically, I'm not saying, can I just put on a fireman suit and go into the sewage? It's like, no, take a fucking hose, blast it, and then hope for the best. Because that's all you can really do in that kind of situation. I'm gonna read the next one. You know how expensive that would be? I don't fucking care. Okay.
It needs to happen.
America has been obsessed with money, obsessed with it. It's like, I don't have enough money, or you don't have enough money, or whatever. I don't want to hear excuses. I need to see results because this is a manpower thing. This is something that you do on the weekend, that you do after work because you live here. You live here. You know, you want to call the firemen to get a cat out of the tree, but you don't want to do that. You want to send the firemen to the LA forest fires because you don't want to do that. So when it comes to the sewers, when it comes to making solar panels or the steps that he's talking about right here, that is something that's on you as well. It's not a money issue, it's a you issue because that
Yeah.
stuff is cheap. That stuff is actually cheaper than putting a nuclear power plant that you have to say, somebody didn't do the safety check and you're going to glow for a bit.
Yeah. Thank you, Chernobyl. But
People want to take the chances with that rather than say, let me build a solar panel or, it gets really windy here. Let me, have some turbines here.
Have you seen the new star fusion that they're trying to create in France? It's a super ultra collider that is supposed to create energy equivalent to a star. What if that
Oh,
thing fails? I think it's going to be a little more dangerous than a nuclear power plant melting down because
look,
that thing can create a black hole.
you know that they discovered the God particle at
The
CERN.
tachyon.
Yeah, they've done so many collisions that the energy from it would create basically a black hole. But
Yeah,
you're here, I'm here. Somehow they did. You see, this is one of the reasons why I have a space agency because I say if you want to do crazy shit like that, why don't you do that on a planet where nobody else lives? Because you want to do it for science.
yeah.
Do that for science on a place where nobody lives. What you want to do that in the middle of France? You want to do that in Switzerland, where they're people, pretty people. I still want to have sex with. I mean, that fucks me up. I mean, talk about my needs. My needs.
Oh, damn, dude.
I'm funny.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. But
Put a shirt
anyway,
on. No, I will not put a shirt on. No, 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 no. No, 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 no. I will not put a shirt on. Why? Because I mean, I do still claim my transgender status, but look,
there ain't
this
nothing
is a
wrong with it, Mr.
body.
Matthew.
This is a body. If you can't handle man titties, if man titties work your mind out of its existence, then you have issues because these are lovely. And I will show them off any chance I can.
Yeah, mine are hairy, so no.
Bless your heart.
Yeah, I don't even need a furry costume. I'm just
Oh
hairy.
my goodness. If Santa wants to go topless, then you might see a North Pole coming out of some of these audience members.
Come on, they'll turn around and start looking at me, calling me a Wookiee.
There is nothing wrong with a furry man. I mean, I feel bad. I'm a werewolf that only can grow a beard. I have no chest hair. Why do I have no chest hair?
Because you're
Life is
Brazilian.
cruel. Life is cruel.
It could be worse, brother. You could be a Viking that can't grow a beard.
That would be terrible.
Yeah.
That would
Tell me
be.
about it.
Can you imagine? Because you used to use the beard braids to say how many kills or how many children you
It's
had. Like
how many
all
children you
cultures, yeah, all the cultures have. Okay, well, I mean, if your wife saw that
Yeah,
and said, "I
next
don't
thing you
want to
know,
have
you're
it,"
just a big dreadlock head.
okay, what
Dreadlock
would you
face.
do? What did they do in that situation? Did they just start like super gluing honey and dirt in order to form something?
No, I
Did
think
they paint it on?
if I remember correctly, they shaped bone and would tie their hair around that. So that's if I remember right. But a lot of times the Vikings would rather comb their hair and their beards than they would anything. They would rather have it nice and straight and combed. But mine don't grow out straight. Mine's curly.
Hmm.
Yes, they also added beads whenever they couldn't do any more. You're very right, subject. They also added beads whenever they couldn't do any more braids in their beard or their hair. They would add beads to it. But yes, what's up there, Orange Smoke? Welcome in, welcome in. Drewby seems to like you.
I see. Thank you so much, Drewby.
And yes, and subject, it's just like going at the beach, guys. Quit freaking out. It's just a guy shirtless. It's not like I'm sitting here talking to a shirtless woman. Just
if
because
you
you can
heard
sing like
if
one
you
man.
heard my latest single Big Dick Energy, which is a reimagining slash cover of Rico Nasty, you would say, who's that girl that you got on the mic? Because I just I rap as a girl. I mean that's just how life happens.
Well, one of my favorite singers from Beast in Black, that band that I sent you that song with Highway to Mars.
Mhm.
Um, their lead singer has a song called Blind and Frozen. When it first started out, I was like, this chick sounds kind of, it's got kind of a deep voice. And then I turned around and I looked up the music video. I was like, that's not a chick. And then every song after that was literally, you know, makes him sound like a man. But the first song I heard by him, the first opening lyrics sounds like a woman. But it's because of how high pitched he was singing. And it just caught me off guard. It's kind of like when I was a kid growing up, I
Hmm.
thought it was and don't think I'm racist for this because it just sounded like it to me. But I thought the guy that sings Never Ending Stories theme song was a big black woman because his voice sounds like a big black woman. But no, it's a skinny little white dude. It blew my mind. It's the same thing with freaking Rick Ashley. Little teeny tiny ginger midget. Sings like Lionel Richie. What the hell?
No, no, the same thing happens with Adele, because when Adele talks, she talks in a very, very English way. But when she sings, she sounds like an American Chicago jazz singer. But that's because the standards that you listen to create your melodic voice.
Exactly. For instance, I kind of have a deep voice whenever I go to sing. But it's because I smoke too much. I can't actually get high pitched anymore. But I used to have a range like Jack Black.
Well, he screams a lot. That
Yeah,
helps.
he does.
Like,
He does. But I don't scream so much anymore.
you're too calm. You're too calm.
You've never seen me rock out. You've never seen me party, bro.
What are these lovebirds up to today? We are not in love, except I am in love with clean energy. So anytime that Clint wants to talk about environmental issues and how to help America maybe reach a better level, because what you're talking about with all this sustainable energy, more energy means less bills, which means cleaner energy and cleaner cities.
And
You
cleaner
can
air.
do a lot more when you save some money. When you don't have to pay an electric bill to Con Edison, which is just a con, then you could spend things on infrastructure. You can spend things on, I don't know, building robots that just clean the subway.
Yeah, build self-controlled, self-propelled, small robots about the size of a roach, and you could clean everything quickly. In
You
fact,
see, this is the thing that kind of pisses me off. LA has so much money from all those movies and actors and musicians and the taxes that they put on these people, and these bitches can't afford a Roomba.
yeah, I know, right?
Like, I look at the subway system and I just say, you have all this beautiful tile work. You have police who are, hired to just stand there, but you can't afford a Roomba.
You can't afford at least an old man walking around with a street sweeper. I mean, come on.
Like, I don't get it. But like I said, October, like September was supposed to be my shout out to the American education system, but whatever. October is going to be just a cleanup for California, specifically in Los Angeles. I'm going to do events every week to
Uh,
beautify and change this city.
I should be back in my RV within a month. So we'll be going back to me being able to do as many shows as I can because I now work, but as many shows as I can every at least couple days. And my boss even knows I'm a YouTuber, so I might even get to YouTube from work. Y'all get to see me make some conies.
Your people need you.
Well, man, my little break that I got to take is over with, so I got to get back to work. But I saw that pressure plate and I was like, nah, I'm gonna take an extra break. I'm gonna show this to him. I had to talk to you about it, man, because I was thinking, for big metropolitan cities like say L.A., New York, places where people walk constantly, throw them puppies down. Make the whole sidewalk and make the entire street covered with them pressure plates, and watch how quickly everybody's bills go. But they're not going to do that. Why? Because they make too much money.
That's why I spent today looking at incorporations. Incorporations, as in, you know, there are cities, like in Texas, there's Dallas and Houston,
Okay.
Galveston, but there are also areas of Texas that just they don't have a town, they don't have a city, they don't have anything. But
No,
when
it's
you
just where
make a
people live together.
town, when you decide that you want to have a vote and say, if you live in this area, you'll be a different town. And in that new town, you can say things like, okay, you do things how you do it there, but in this town, we're going to put pressure plates. You can do that there. And they say it's expensive, but I'm saying, I'm just going to go down a road where I say, if you are a gay or a lesbian or a transgender, you're going to live in my utopia where I just have a town which has the pressure plates, which has the Roombas, which has the sewer system that everybody fucking puts something together so that you spend some time cleaning that, because that's the ethic that you can build in a brand new community in a brand new town. But you can't really do that in these archaic things, and the more you get out of it, the better you're going to be, because the
Oh yeah,
more I got out of that pit, which was Los Angeles, and I live somewhere else now in California, I feel better. I look better. I look like a real bodybuilder. Yeah. So yeah, it's so much better. So unincorporated to corporated means that you can make a change for the better.
yeah, and that's why I wanted to tell you about those pressure plates because it just gives you another idea, man. Because my brain's already running with different possibilities.
Energy, energy, energy.
Wrong energy.
They're pressure plates. What are you talking about? I license my own pressure plates right here.
But let me let you go, man, because I'm sure my dad's wondering where I am. I got to go help him. Check you next time. Remember, guys, love y'all, lifeblood, all that jazz. See you from a swamp, later from a gator. Love your mama, love your papa, love yourself. Be kind and always find a way to help. We'll check you all next time.